Have you ever imagined the version of you that could dominate in every area of life? The version that's fulfilled, focused, and actually accomplished. The man who doesn't just dream, but delivers. That version of you is not far away. But right now, he's buried under layers of distraction. Endless scrolling, pointless arguments, mind-numbing conversations with people who don't even matter to you. But out of all these distractions, there's one that drains you the most. Chasing women. Not building something meaningful. Not connecting deeply. But chasing. Chasing attention. Chasing validation. Chasing that next quick dopamine hit. And every time you do, you lose a part of yourself. You lose your focus, your time, and your energy. And worst of all, you lose your purpose. Now listen carefully. This video isn't about shaming you, and it's not about shaming women either. It's about setting you free. Free from the noise. Free from the need. Free from the false belief that your value is defined by who wants you. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why chasing women is costing you your future, and more importantly, how to reclaim that power for yourself. Stick around. What I share at the end could completely change the way you approach success, relationships, and self-respect. Let's begin. Part 1. The high price of chasing women. Let's be real for a second. Most men don't chase women because they're full of confidence or purpose. They chase women because something inside feels empty. Empty of direction. Empty of purpose. And when there's no strong mission guiding your life, you'll grab onto anything that makes you feel good for a moment. That's why the chase becomes so tempting. Especially now, when social media makes lust look like love and hookups look like happiness. It's easy to get caught up. Easy to think, if I just get her, then I'll finally feel complete. But here's the part most guys never hear. When you build your life around chasing women, you make them the prize. And you make yourself the one doing the chasing. You put her above you. And whether you realize it or not, you put yourself beneath her. And I need you to hear this clearly. No woman wants to be with a man who feels beneath her. That energy destroys your confidence. Because chasing isn't power. Chasing is desperation. Real power doesn't chase. It attracts. And the more you chase, the more you tell yourself you're not enough on your own. You start believing that your worth depends on how many women want you, or whether she texts back. And that belief, it slowly poisons your drive, your focus, your potential. You stop building your life. You spend hours scrolling, swiping, texting, waiting for attention that often leads nowhere. Meanwhile, your real goals, your dreams, your discipline, your mission get pushed aside. So ask yourself this. How much time have you already wasted chasing attention that never became anything real? That time is gone. You can't get it back, but you can stop the cycle now. Because here's something most guys don't realize. A woman who truly values you won't need to be chased. She'll notice your discipline. She'll admire your focus. And if she doesn't, she's not the one. The man who wins isn't the one who gets the most women. It's the one who doesn't need women to feel like a man. That's where your real power begins. Part 2. Why chasing women is a symptom, not the disease. Let's go deeper. Chasing women is not the root problem. It's just a symptom. The real disease is distraction. Today's man is under attack, not by enemies with swords, but by endless temptations that slowly kill his focus and ambition. It's not just about women. It's the porn, the constant scrolling, the party invites, the quick hits of dopamine from likes, messages, and meaningless attention. All of it is designed to keep you numb and busy, without moving forward. And let's be honest, it works. Because it's easy. Do you want to know what's difficult? Reading a book every night, waking up early to work on your business, building a strong, disciplined body, facing your insecurities and dealing with them head-on. That stuff is tough, but pulling out your phone and swiping on Tinder, opening Instagram and getting lost in someone else's highlight reel, flirting just to feel wanted for a moment, that's easy. It's distraction dressed up as fun. So what do? You trade long-term meaning for short-term pleasure. You give up your future for a few minutes of fake validation, and afterward, you feel emptier than before. But listen closely. A man who is focused doesn't chase. He doesn't have time to chase. He's too locked in on becoming the best version of himself. And here's what's wild. When you stop chasing, the dynamic flips. Women start noticing you. They start respecting you. Some even chase you. Why? Because greatness is magnetic. Focus is attractive. Discipline is rare, and rare always stands out. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If you're constantly chasing women, it means you're bored with yourself. You haven't built a life exciting enough to stay focused on. So you chase stimulation instead of building substance. But the solution isn't to hate women. It's not to swear off love or relationships. The solution is to become a man worth chasing. A man whose life is so rich with purpose, so full of vision, so grounded in mission, that you no longer need distractions to feel alive. You don't have to play the game of chasing anymore. Because the moment you truly focus on your goals, on building something meaningful, you'll realize the chase ends. Naturally, not because you became cold, but because you became unavailable to anything that wastes your time. That's how men win. Not by chasing, but by becoming. Part 3. The masculine need for direction. Let's get something straight. A man without direction is a man easily controlled. Controlled by impulse, by distraction, by the need to feel wanted instead of the need to build something meaningful. The Stoic philosophers knew this. They believed that the highest virtue a man could achieve was self-mastery, the ability to lead himself no matter the chaos around him. And here's the truth no one wants to admit. You cannot master yourself if your attention is constantly being hijacked by women. Let's take Marcus Aurelius as an example. He was emperor of Rome, ruling an empire, battling plagues and war, leading armies and facing his own internal demons every single day. You think he had time to chase lust, approval, or meaningless distraction? No. He wrote in his journal, not to brag, not to impress, but to remind himself of what matters. Life is short, time is precious, and legacy is everything. So ask yourself honestly, what's your legacy? Because no matter how charming you are, no matter how many compliments you give, a woman isn't inspired by your lust. She's inspired by your leadership. She doesn't want a man who's begging for her time. She wants a man so anchored in his mission that he doesn't need her validation. Every time you center your identity around women, you abandon your post as the leader of your own life. And leadership starts with one simple but powerful thing: direction. If you don't know where you're going, then everything becomes a distraction. Every party, every DM, every late night craving for attention. It all becomes more tempting when you're not walking a clear path. But when you're deeply grounded in your mission, when your days are built around a vision that's bigger than yourself, you become unshakable. That's when everything changes. You stop caring who likes you. You stop explaining yourself. You stop chasing, and you start choosing. You don't move based on who's watching. You move based on what you were born to build. And something incredible happens. The world starts to move with you. Women notice. But now it's not because you're chasing them. It's because they can sense you're chasing something greater. That's the real attractive force. Not your words, not your flattery, but your focus. So stop making women the mission. Start making purpose your compass. Because a man on a mission doesn't beg. He builds. And he leads. Part 4. The silent power of self-control. Let me say this clearly. Self-control is the most underrated form of masculinity. In a world where most men are chasing and reacting, the man who can stay calm and focused becomes rare. And rarity is powerful. We're told real men dominate and take what they want. But the truth is, any man can chase pleasure. It takes no strength to give in to temptation. What takes real strength is the ability to say no, to walk away, to hold back, to choose the hard road because it leads to something greater. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Freedom is not achieved by satisfying desire, but by eliminating it." Think about that. Freedom isn't doing what you feel like doing. It's the ability to not be ruled by those feelings in the first place. Most men are ruled by their impulses. They say they want greatness, but the moment they get a late-night text or see someone attractive walk by, their entire focus breaks. That's not confidence. You're falling for your desires. And if you don't control your desires, they will control you. You have to learn to sit with discomfort, learn to feel desire, and not act on it. There's a reason monks trained in silence, why warriors lived in discipline, why kings studied restraint. Because they knew this one truth. Uncontrolled desire weakens a man. It makes him reactive and easy to manipulate. But the man who can walk into a room and not be moved by beauty alone, the man who can admire without chasing, who can enjoy without needing, that man becomes dangerous in the best possible way. This is because he's not looking to take something. He's looking to build something. He's not out here searching for attention. He's focused on commanding respect. And when you command respect, people feel it without you saying a word. So here's the challenge. Be the man who holds his energy. Be the man who keeps his standards. Be the man who can walk away, not out of weakness, but out of strength. Because the moment you prove to yourself that your emotions don't control you, you become unshakable. And an unshakable man is the one the world learns to respect in silence. Part 5. Reclaiming your power. Here's the truth most men never stop long enough to see. Every hour spent chasing women is an hour stolen from your mission. Think about that. All the time, energy, and emotional weight you've poured into chasing attention. What if you gave that energy back to yourself? What if every late-night text, every pointless conversation, every anxious scroll through social media waiting for a reply, was time invested into building something real? Your body, your mind, your business. Instead of trying to prove that you're enough, you'd become more than enough. You'd stop performing and start transforming. And here's the magic. When that shift happens, the world sees it. You walk into rooms differently. You speak with calm. You stop chasing validation and start radiating presence. And the women, they notice. Because women don't fall for the loudest man in the room. They're drawn to the one who doesn't need to speak to be seen. They don't want desperation, they want rarity. And a man who is deeply rooted in his purpose, who doesn't waver or wander, is rare. If you're feeling stuck or drained by the endless chase, ask yourself something real. What would my life look like if I gave all this energy, all this hunger, back to myself? That's how momentum is built. Not through pursuit, but through creation. Now let's get to the root of it. Part 6. The freedom of letting go. When you stop chasing women, something powerful happens. You gain freedom. The freedom to think clearly, to move with intention, to build without distraction. But more than that, you gain the freedom to choose. You stop asking, does she even want me? And start asking, does she align with my mission? That shift is everything. Because not every woman is meant to walk beside you. Some will confuse you. Some will compete with your focus. Some will feed your ego while draining your soul. But the one who's meant for your path, she respects your silence. She understands your discipline. She values your time because she values your direction. And here's the key. You don't find her by chasing. You find her by building. The moment you stop needing someone else to complete you is the moment you begin to attract someone who is already complete herself. Let me leave you with this. There is a man inside you right now, silent, focused, unstoppable. He doesn't chase. He creates. He never begs. He builds. He doesn't need constant attention because he commands quiet respect. That man, he's not found by accident. He's revealed through discipline. So stop giving your power away to temporary attention and meaningless pursuits. Your greatness isn't waiting to be chased, it's waiting to be uncovered. This is your moment. Refocus, rebuild, and rise. Because the woman you truly want, the life you're meant to live, and the man you're destined to become, they're all waiting for the same thing. For you to stop chasing and start winning. Subscribe to Stoic Clarity for more wisdom. And share this with a brother who needs to hear it. Your silence is power, your focus is sacred, and your time starts now.